This is Radio Nepal, a Manjil Ghimire with the news. The headlines first. Government forms high-level probe committee to investigate Ncell's share transfer deal. Patan High Court issued short-term interim order to immediately halt the transaction. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda pledges to ensure legal and policy-level arrangements for making Nepal attractive destination for investment, and Armenia and Azerbaijan to work towards peace deal. Now, the news in detail. The government has formed a high-level probe committee to investigate telecommunications company Ncell's share transfer deal. The meeting of the Council of Ministers held yesterday constituted a 5-member committee led by former Auditor General Tangkamari Sharma. According to government spokesperson and Minister for Communication and Information Technology, Rekha Sharma, the committee has been assigned to present its report to the government within a month. Government Secretary Phanindra Gautam, Finance Ministry's Joint Secretary Ritesh Kumar Sakya, a Joint Secretary at the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, Baburam Bhandari, and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nepal's President, Sujan Kumar Kafle, are members on the probe committee. Similarly, the Cabinet meeting has appointed Rudra Prasad Gautam as the chair of Drinking Water and Tariff Fixation Commission. Likewise, the meeting has formed talks team under the convenership of Finance Ministry's Joint Secretary to negotiate with the proposal regarding the World Bank assistance for the provincial and local road improvement program. Meanwhile, Patan High Court has ruled that the transaction related to the Ncell share should be determined whether it is in accordance with the existing law. The single bench of Justice Purushottam Dhakal issued a short-term interim order in the name of Office of the Company Registrar to immediately halt the transaction and not to register the shares in the share registration book. The High Court ordered to halt the shares trading of Ncell until the 11th of December, saying it is mandatory for the company to take approval of the regulator. It has summoned both parties for a hearing on the dispute on the date. Gokul Bahadur Rokaya had filed a writ in the High Court against the recent share transfer deal of Ncell. Malaysian company Axiata reportedly sold 80% of shares of Ncell to Spectralite UK Limited without informing the regulatory body. President Ramchandra Paudel says the promotion and protection of human rights must be ensured to strengthen parliamentary republic based on the rule of law. Receiving the annual report of the Human Rights Commission for the last fiscal year, President Paudel called on the Commission to carry out effective monitoring of the implementation status of human rights. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has reiterated the government's commitment to preparing legal and policy-level arrangements for making Nepal an attractive destination for investment. Inaugurating a conference organized by the National Business Initiative in Kathmandu yesterday, Prime Minister Prachanda said the government had introduced several economic programs for making the country's economy vibrant. The Prime Minister on the occasion referred to his address to the business summit held recently in the United Arab Emirates, where he had called for making Nepal an investment destination. He said that he had been continuously making efforts to infuse hope by creating investment-friendly environment in the country and to ease the existing stressors seen in the economy. Meanwhile, addressing a local-level party cadres meeting and training organized by CPN Maoist Center at Tarakeswar of Kathmandu yesterday, Prime Minister Prachanda said that the government was preparing to embark on a next round of battle against big scams of corruption to promote good governance. Likewise, Prime Minister Prachanda has received an annual report of the National Information Commission for the last fiscal year. Chief Commissioner of the National Information Commission, Mahendraman Gurung, handed the report to the Prime Minister. After receiving the report, the Prime Minister Prachanda expressed his commitment to making amendments to privacy laws with the aim of making personal details of the public post holders accessible to the public. The National Information Commission submitted 8 recommendations to the government, seeking their prompt implementation. The Commission also insisted on the prompt implementations of the provisions to appoint an information officer, proactive disclosure of information, and imparting public information to seekers. Senior Director at the National Security Council for South Asia and Special Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs of the USA, Rear Admiral Eileen Loubacker, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Prachanda yesterday. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, matters relating to the Nepal-US relations and mutual interest and benefits were discussed in the meeting held at Balwatar. The two-day 6th Asian Electoral Stakeholder Forum concluded in Kathmandu yesterday, stressing on the need of amending the laws for promoting the fairness of elections and strengthening of democracy. The forum ended with a 29-point Kathmandu declaration in the presence of Minister for Foreign Affairs Narayan Prakash Saud. The event held under the theme Building Sustainable Democracies, Addressing Electoral Challenges and Opportunities has brought together election management bodies, civil society organizations and other stakeholders from across Asia to engage and collaborate. The forum was co-hosted by Election Commission and the Asian Network for Free Election. The number of beneficiaries for the construction of temporary housing has reached almost 10,000 in Artbiscote municipality of Rukum Paschim district. The number of beneficiaries needing support for the construction of the temporary housing has reached 9,962 as per the details released by the municipality after a month of the November 3rd earthquake that happened with its epicenter at Ramidala of Jajarkot. Acting Chief Administrative Officer of Artbiscote Municipality, Maniraj Shah, said that the details were collected from all 14 wards of the municipality and the confirmed beneficiaries shall receive financial support for building temporary houses. This news comes to you from Radio Nepal. Now on to some international updates. Tens of thousands of Palestinians are streaming into Rafah to escape intense fighting elsewhere in the south of the Gaza Strip. As reported by BBC, Gaza has no food or electricity and there are severe water shortages. Thousands have tried to go to UN schools to find shelter but have had to sleep in front of the buildings as there is no room for them. The Israeli military is now deep into Khan Yunis, a city to which civilians in the North Gaza had previously been told to flee. Hamas officials in Gaza say Israel has killed more than 17,177 people in its retaliatory campaign, including about 7,000 children. Armenia and Azerbaijan say they will move towards normalizing relations and will exchange prisoners captured during the fighting in Nagorno-Karabakh. The two neighbors have been involved in a decades-long conflict over the disputed territory. In a joint statement released last night, the two countries said they saw a historical chance for long-awaited peace. The two countries also called on the international community to support their efforts. The Caucasus neighbors have been locked in a decades-long conflict over the Nagorno-Karabakh region, which surrendered to Azerbaijan after an offensive in September. The territory is recognized internationally as part of Azerbaijan, but large areas of it had been controlled by ethnic Armenians for 3 decades. Now the Jala weather forecast for the country. With the partial influence of westerly winds as well as low pressure area around Chhattisgarh, India, Meteorological Forecasting Division has forecast the weather to be partly cloudy in the hilly regions of Kosi, Bagmati and Gandaki province and mainly fair in the rest of the country, with possibility of light rain at 1 or 2 places of hilly regions of Kosi province today. According to the latest information provided by the division, the minimum temperature of Kathmandu Valley is recorded as 9.7 degrees Celsius and the maximum temperature as 15.5 degrees Celsius. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin from Radio Nepal for this hour, but before wrapping it up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once more. Government forms high-level probe committee to investigate Ansel's share transfer deal. Patan High Court issues short-term interim order to immediately halt the transaction. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda pledges to ensure legal and policy-level arrangements for making Nepal attractive destination for investments. And Armenia and Azerbaijan to work towards peace deal. This is all we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can listen to us online on our website www.onlineradionepal.gov.np and our mobile app. For more news and information, keep listening to Radio Nepal. Have a good day.